welcome to the latest health news that you will not see on the mainstream media. Is drinking soda really as bad as smoking cigarettes? Well, in fact, a Gallup poll reveals that nearly half of all Americans drink soda on a daily basis, averaging 2.6 glasses per day. And the CDC has reported that at least 1 in 3 people in the U.S. consume this beverage regularly, which is a major source of added sugar in the standard American diet. You know, we call that SSBs, sugar sweetened beverages. It is actually one of the #1 sources of sugar and calories in the diet as a whole. So just cutting that off the diet, I'm sure, would affect many people in bad ways in the short term, because they'd be like, oh my gosh, I really need soda, but then really good ways in the long term, because they see the results they may get from it that they've long wanted, or they might lose some of that depression because they're using sugar as that coping mechanism. You never know what they're consuming the soda for, but it could be conditioning, it could be their environment, it could be a matter of both in many cases, of which it is. In an addiction, a craving, right? Those are 4 different things to just keep in mind when you're looking at soda. And it says, in fact, a growing body of research links soda to many dire health problems and increased mortality risk that many experts and public health officials warn that drinking soda could be as dangerous of a habit as smoking, right? Because you feel the need to drink a soda, right? It's become an addiction. It becomes a dependence on using it. Why are you using it? What are you using it for? Right? What is it in the soda product that makes it so addictive that you can't stop, right? And are there cancer-causing chemicals like caramel color, or the preservatives they add, or just the sugar in general? Of course that's going to be dangerous, right? The carbonation may cause problems with gas, but that's the least of our concerns. The acids are pretty concerning though, right? I mean, your body's already so acidic. There's a whole reason why everybody says eat more alkaline foods like kale and greens, but you're not going to eat them, right? Because they don't taste good, and they just don't. You can make it taste good. Are you serious? That's the problem, is well, you can make healthy food taste good, and instead of it purposely manipulating you to make you think it tastes good, it's actually a food that feeds your body, and your body loves it, okay? Not just a part of your brain that tells you that you like it, and you just are convinced, like you are when it comes to other forms of propaganda in mass media playing on your brain, right? Which makes sense, because Coca-Cola and all these big companies are associated with all this big advertising. They use models to advertise. Like, are you crazy? It's just all these gimmicks, and then they target children, which is just bizarre. And then if you look at the past, they recommended like only one glass for a whole family. Now it's a glass for every individual. It just makes sense. And then you see why Bloomberg wanted to tax soda and wanted to reduce the size of the cups in New York. Crazy stuff. So it says a large cohort study involving data from 451,743 people from 10 different European countries found that there was a higher all-cause mortality rate associated with soda consumption of 2 or more glasses per day. I know people that drink this much per day. Are you serious? So, and I get it, productivity. Guess what? You can still be productive. And what am I doing right now? I'm being productive. I'm putting out videos that I believe people need to know, right? And I'm doing this with my energy. Where am I getting my energy? I'm getting from water. I'm getting from coconut water. I'm getting from high quality coffee. Who told me I can't drink coffee? Debunking it, right? Debunking it and saying, well, my body does fine on it. Maybe your body does not. Maybe some people consider it a drug, but maybe I can add MCT oil to it, and maybe I could add some turmeric to it, and maybe, maybe I could get more vitamin B12 in my diet. Maybe I should try some nutritional yeast, What is it, right? The researchers also found a positive association between artificially sweetened soft drinks, think diet sodas, and deaths from circulatory diseases. The researchers published in JAMA, Internal Medicine. So, incredible stuff there. Artificially sweetened soft drinks, yeah, these aren't real foods. Do they come from nature? No. There you go. That answers the question. It's not something you should be consuming. So how do you get rid of it? Do you have to make your own carbonated beverages at home? Well, once you get a carbonated device, you can do anything you want. You can make carbonated milk if you want, even though that might not work out so well. But no, dairy doesn't do well with most people, so you probably that. But generally speaking, I'm saying, you can carbonate your own beverages. You can use your own natural sweeteners. You can do fruit and berry infusions, right? So it's a sample of more than 5,300 Americans adults from 1999 to 2002. National Health and Nutrition Examination surveys revealed that frequent consumption of sugary drinks like soda was associated with shortened telomere length. Now, what this means, telomeres, is what controls the aging process. So it says, telomeres are the ends of the DNA strains and act like the end caps of shoelaces, protecting the DNA from damage. Okay, so the authors who published their findings online in 2014 through the American Journal of Public Health concluded that regular consumption of sugar-sweetened sodas might influence metabolic disease development through accelerated cell aging. So through accelerating, pushing against those telomeres and depleting them and denaturing these telomeres to make you age faster, right? Because there's no antioxidants. Oh, look at the soda up here. It looks like it's so dark and full of antioxidants. No, that's just the color they add to the drink, okay? Coffee, on the other hand, that looks the same color, has antioxidants. In fact, that's where most Americans are getting their antioxidants. And I'm not saying to drink coffee, but at least it has antioxidants, okay? There's a big difference, right? You say, oh, well, soda has caffeine. Yeah, it's not the same, okay? It's not the same. So, two completely different things. You're talking soda made it in a processing facility, and, coffees could too, of course, but, coffees, it's more down to nature. That's why we see it's effective. But we also see coffee affects people so differently, right? And so across so many different people, it's still a problematic substance. I mean, frankly, it's because most Americans are consuming it. So no wonder we're seeing the issue that we have, right? And if you want to change it, well, you got to do something different. And how do you do something different? Well, I'll tell you, it doesn't start with restriction, okay? Maybe adding in the good to naturally crowd out the bad. So if you don't want to be drinking, diet Coca-Cola or Pepsi Cola or whatever's out there, because they just keep making new products because they run out of ideas and they just want to sell and keep selling and convince people. Just keep adding in the good and see maybe some of those cravings, because you just can't get off of them for some reason, are associated with the fact that you're missing something in your life, or you need more of something in your life. It's understanding that yin and yang effect, understanding the different things that need to be looked at, because the universe is giving you messages, through these foods, through your feelings, through your brain, and ultimately nature surpasses this manipulative rhythm, which is why you're seeing this video that's telling you to do something about, which is why, you're reading your books, why you're interested in knowing more, which is why you're going on these diets, is because the universe is telling you something, and so you're pulling that in, saying, oh, I need to do something with it, I need to grasp it and finally change some part of my life that needs to be changed. So it says, finally, according to the Center for Science in the Public Interest, lab tests have found a known carcinogen called 4-methylimidazole, I don't know, in regular and diet Coca-Cola and Pepsi Cola products. The source, well, it says the process used to create that appealing caramel brown color. So I mentioned caramel color. You'll even see it on the label itself, which requires both ammonia and sulfites. So crazy stuff there. That's not what I would want to be consuming personally. Right, that's not natural at all. It says obesity, diabetes, these are just things that are associated with soda consumption, right? Depression, heart disease, again, I mean, we see depression, again, we see obesity, again and again, and these are things that Americans are doing the most. So of course, it says one study from the Harvard School of Public Health found that drinking just one sugar-sweetened beverage per day can increase the risk of coronary artery disease by 20%, and it says then reduced fertility in men and women. So just ridiculous, right? I talked about before testosterone. Amazing how people are losing their fertility from things just in the environment, from things that it's right in front of them, especially soda, where they're consuming this and they know it's not real. They can't say it's real. It's just, they call it Coca-Cola. It's Coca-Cola. It's Pepsi. It's Coca-Cola. But what is it actually? Oh, well, it's water. No, it's sugar mostly, okay? And, the water, it doesn't even matter at that point, okay? And then it's caramel color. It's colored it's colored carbonated sugar with preservatives. That's exactly what it is. Okay, it's not actually something we can say this is a fruit, this is an apple, right? It doesn't require an ingredient list, for example, right? And it says opt for clean water, seltzer water, and other healthier options instead. And it's not that you have to completely replace it. If you want to replace it, go ahead, try. But if you want to stick with it, I suggest adding in, crowding out the bad, and getting a health coach could keep you motivated and guided alongside so you can address this situation individually.